against you neither.
I've talked to him.
I haven't talked to you since then.
Excuse me, Mr. Kavanaugh, just, what is your purpose of your being here today? Go ahead.
The toll bill, the paperwork I gave you, I didn't get an answer on, I'd like a response on that.
I'm not,
I need 16, I gave you a packet on the toll bill, of 731, I know we all watched the news, you all seen it. And I'd like some answers.
Thank you, sir.
I'm sorry, Mr. Delo?
As I remember, Mr. Patton, we constantly refer to the chief of police. And that's, at least that's the way I remember it. And that is typical of what we would do in a case like yours.
As far as that, I don't know as far as that. I gave everybody a pamphlet with my address and everything on it, with a response from you guys. No answer.
Okay.
And
Mr. Mayor?
maybe the council was pointing out that I was up in my office and met with the three of us, the chief and I, had a conversation. I believe he also met with the tow company to discuss the bill, and it's pretty much where it's been left is to deal with that. And the charges, again, we have an issue here where the car went off the road and there was damage to the grass and
Well, I don't think-
the property.
But I mean, it's my understanding this is a contract with, the police department for towing that
Well,
you're referring
it's a
to.
contract with the city for one, that
And-
Eric only has with you guys, that the chief of police, from my understanding, has control of, that you guys lost control of how many years ago?
It's not that, it was a decision of the council to have that control set that way. But my understanding is that they're working on, more details of the future contract also. But Mr. Kavanaugh, we don't address concerns of anything that would happen with any vendor in our city other than that we would point you in the right direction to speak to, and I believe you've been directed to speak with the chief of police, and he said you have spoken.
I had a sidebar conversation with them after the meeting, other than that, nothing else transpired. They didn't move no further as far as like that, didn't hear nothing from them, not one of you guys. If that was the case, I would never gave you guys a case.
Well, if I remember correctly,
Response.
you spoke last time, and I think I gathered a little bit of information for one that you had worked previously for this same company.
I worked for back in '98 or so, something like that, yes.
Okay.
But I didn't quit, there was no discussion of, anything else.
Okay.
Didn't
So,
really disagree with
but I mean, we don't, the council doesn't really get into anything that would be provided as a
They're
contract.
handling for your city, you don't.
You would have to deal with the police department and your legal
All right, he has to
representation if
see,
you have an
that's the
issue.
gentleman, we already see that he likes the rates that were on my bill are not in his contract. We all know this. You guys know this for years.
Okay, well, what I'm saying is that we don't
30
negotiate,
cents and fuel surcharge.
but we wouldn't
So why
negotiate.
not? You think
Mr.
that's fair?
Kavanaugh, we wouldn't, the council is not going to work out everybody's invoice or receipt from a vendor that we've agreed to work with. So as you understand, we couldn't do that, that's not our capacity.
Are you not elected official to work on behalf of your residents?
We are, we voted on the contract, and then when it comes before us again, we'll have to make that decision again at that
You would
time.
make that decision over to keep letting the residents get ripped off, that's what
We
you
will
want?
decide on that when it comes before us next time.
So I never take other steps, that's what
Mr.
you're saying?
Delo?
Yeah, very much to this point, I took the opportunity to contact Corporation Council Martin. I met with him briefly this afternoon, called him this morning, earlier today. And gave him a copy of the contract, of the towing contract. I asked him to review the contract, and then I will wait for a couple of days his response to the questions that I have generated regarding it. The fact of the matter is that there are charges being levied that are not part of the contract, and depending upon the legality and the contractual appropriateness of Mr. Martin's opinion, I think it may be appropriate for this council to take a look at those rates, both those that are in the contract, specified in the contract, and those that are not specified in the contract or are not mentioned in the contract. This has been going on for far too long. you know, when we hear one or two, or maybe 3 or 4 of these complaints in the course of a year, and we, you know, in a case like this, we ask you to talk to the chief. Obviously, you anticipated that we were going to respond to you, and I anticipated that your response would have been, if you were not satisfied with meeting with the chief, that you would have contacted one of us. So there simply was not, I think, a meeting of the minds with regard to this in your case. But it is a fact that if we hear so few cases, and we move them to the department that would normally handle them or be in charge of them, we wouldn't necessarily remember that there was a problem, or think that there was that kind of a problem. Well, now this whole thing has been brought to a head. I believe it has, and I've asked Mr. Martin to respond to the situation with regard to the contract. So, and I think that's the best that we can do at this juncture.
Okay.
So you're saying, in other words, keep coming back to you, they're saying, because like I said, evidently, I think you know with the chief of police, I think you know with the mayor, they're saying the rates are set forth, the number is not set forth. Like I said, you know as well as I know, he went over and beyond his contract, well over and beyond his contract, a $200 toll to a $731 toll. I mean, who can explain it? Put it this way, let me ask you this. Have any last one of you guys had an accident here in Taylor and had your car impounded? That should not have been impounded.
Mr. Patna,
It's a question, ma'am.
but
It's a
everything you're
question.
saying
Can
is,
you answer, please?
none of us have, we already said that, but,
None of you guys got an accident here in Taylor?
but your situation, Mr.
None?
Patna,
None?
Mr. Patna,
I'm asking a question, ma'am.
Mr. Patna, I'm asking you, I'm telling you something right now. Your situation and what you're explaining to us, at this point for us, because we're not in business, we're not in the towing business. This is hearsay on what you're saying is your side of the story, the vendor is not here.
It's your contract.
to represent
The
you.
contract says,
Your vendor.
you sign it.
Mr. Patna,
Is it your vendor, ma'am?
so, as I have said before, you're here to say that you have a situation you want dealt with. We would recommend that you, again, try to contact the chief of police, and then any legal avenue you think you deserve to proceed on, which would be to go, however, whatever the process might be for you. We don't do that here, sir. This is not a court of law. This is not, we're not gonna, we don't know the background on your case. We don't know anything. We don't presume to. I'm sure they do many tows every day, and the council is not privy to that information. We don't run the towing business.
And many told every day, they rip people off. I just
Sir,
told you,
that's, I'm gonna stop you there. I'm gonna stop you there because,
You're stopping this.
yes,
Are you
I
stopping
am.
because I'm right, or because I'm explaining that to everybody watching?
We don't allow people to come up here and disparage other people, and we
That's
can't,
not my
we
point, that's not
can't,
my
but
point.
sir,
My point is to make a point.
it's
to show you
baseless
guys
right now.
that
It's
we
based
are-
on what you're saying, it's hearsay at this point. We
It's
can't
not
allow it.
Show me
Okay.
your
I
bill.
gotta go, I was one charge.
Thank
It's not
you.
hearsay.
Your time is up, and I thank you for your comments. As I said, speak with the chief of police, okay? Please try to speak with the chief of police,
Chief,
and then,
please didn't take me, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
all right, well,
Evidently, I won't be standing in front of you if you took care of it.
then you can go through any legal procedures you feel you need to do for your situation,
So
sir.
there's gonna be nothing going forward?
Sir, you can come back to any
Yes.
council member you want and speak with them afterwards also. You can go right ahead and do that. All of our emails are available online, okay? All right, yes.
Contract, and they should know it.
Well, Ted Oak,
Spell your last name.
NOWC.
NOWC?
Correct. I have a follow-up to his complaint on your towing that was also families been affected by this towing company. What he's not saying is you all approved a contract with Area Towing, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I mean, it was approved in the past, yes.
Okay,
So they should
you
know.
know it's been going on for so long. We all know they've been ripping people off.
Sir,
They have.
sir, I mean, you know what,
Well, I mean,
I was told
The
once.
city's getting better.
But sir, I was told once in the city of Detroit, and I could stand there and say that the towing company treated me badly, the city of Detroit treated me badly. But I don't necessarily get a public venue to do that in. And what I'm saying is, no one wants to be towed ever, and you're not gonna be happy when your car's
We
towed.
also
You
want
walk
to-
out of a building and you
Wow,
see your car
defend him.
gone,
My
that's
question,
not.
my main question is, and I'm just,
Am I
simple
right?
question.
Am I right?
Okay, but the one last opposite route at the same time either. But here's my question. I would like to know if anyone received campaign donations from the owner of Gary Zone.
That's public knowledge, you can go.
Well, I've been waiting 3 hours to ask a question. I work with him, I don't have time, you guys are close.
Rick? Madam Chair, I'm glad to answer that question. I was part of a team pack 5 years ago. I can't speak to the specific of that our group may have received something, I don't know. Was there ever a check made payable to Rick Sowers? No, absolutely not.
Dennis?
Never a check made payable to me. By the way, I voted against.
Sir, this is out of order.
Public information.
Public information.
It's public comment,
And it's public information.
You can't come up here and quiz each of the council members just because you're upset about something. You got a general question you want to ask?
I'm not mind to answer the question. Dennis didn't mind answering the question.
What do you got to hide?
You're out of order.
What do we have to hide?
Mr. Noak, our Corporation Council has advised that you're out of order. Do you have anything else tonight?
I guess we got what we wanted.
Thank you, Mr. Noak. Appreciate it.
See you
Yes.
Got two of them to answer the question.
City Taylor. Reference to this whole issue that I think everybody's seen on TV. The question comes down to is this council or anybody in the city approved the contract as a contract? If this contract has been violated in any way, it should be looked into, and from what I can gather, that from what was stated by the owner of this company on TV, that it had been basically some of these issues had been okayed by certain individuals of this city. If that's true, then it is my recommendation that this council order an investigation into this issue because of the number of complaints, and I think it should be done by the State Attorney General's office. And in fact, at the same time, Mr. Gilo, if you'd like to turn in that white packet I gave you, now's the time to do it.